to enable globalization of corporate and personal legacies by providing the best connectivity in the market between overseas providers and local intermediaries such as yourselves. Beyond our many events held for governments and government agencies, as well as private sector companies from around the world, we provide a series of lead generation and client acquisition services with the aim to educate professionals and promote asset planning vehicles and strategies for Asia's private and corporate clients. So moving straight to business, today's webinar will share insights and solutions on how wealthy Vietnamese investors, your clients, can obtain global mobility by benefiting from the Cyprus Investment Program and property investment opportunities. Then further plan international asset allocation for families and businesses, achieving greater stability in these unstable times. We will be starting proceedings with an introduction of Cyprus and prime property. And if you have any questions throughout the proceedings this afternoon, please do take the opportunity to post them in the Q&A box at the bottom of your Zoom screen. I can see we have a raised hand there already. Yeah, please post any queries you have there. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce Anton Vilenkin, the Business Development Manager for Southeast Asia at Prime Property Group, to deliver an introduction of Cyprus as an investment destination and of Prime Property himself. Welcome, Anton.
Yes, thank you, Nick. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anton.
Oh, we got no sound for you, Anton, currently.
Everything should be working. Can you hear me?
It's really in and out.
Like that?
I can hear a loose connection on your headset.
Everything's fine from my side.
Okay, it's fine now. Okay, thanks. Yeah.
I think maybe it takes some time to stabilize. All right. Yes, good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anton. I'm the head of business development for the Southeast Asian region in Prime Property Group, Cyprus. Thank you all for joining us. To start off, I will give you a small presentation of Cyprus and Prime Property Group. This is a very basic presentation, so in case some of you who have more experience on the real estate market, on the immigration market, know some of these things, please be patient. We will try to give you additional information which you might not know yet. So here at Prime Property, we really do believe that Cyprus is the ultimate gateway to Europe for businesses and families alike. Especially for Asian investors, and I'm going to explain to you why. To start off, we can see that there is already an existing Vietnamese community in Cyprus. We can see the numbers from the Wikipedia, which tells us the Vietnamese population in Cyprus is about 12,000 people. Now, it doesn't sound a lot, but for you to understand, the population of Cyprus is about 1 million. So more than 1% are people from Vietnam. This is a big number as we see it. And here you can see that this is a screenshot from the official Facebook group of Vietnamese people in Cyprus, which has 2,200 members. So people are always wondering, and we know that Vietnamese people like to relocate to places which already have some sort of setup of their local community. And here is the proof that Cyprus does so. About Cyprus itself, I know that it's not a very famous country worldwide. So here is a small map to illustrate Cyprus' location. It's located very conveniently on the crossroads between Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Asia. And this geographical position has been favored by many foreign countries throughout millennia, basically, who have used Cyprus as a gateway towards further destinations, wherever they would like to go. Cyprus has 2 international airports with lots of daily flights, direct flights throughout Europe. A wide range of flight possibilities, budget possibilities, meaning there are low-cost airlines like Ryanair and Wizz Air, as well as daily flights to major connection hubs like Dubai and Doha, operated by Emirates Airlines and Qatar Airlines. So HNWI investors who would like to travel from Vietnam to Cyprus will have it fairly easy and fairly convenient. Once again, there are daily flights from Ho Chi Minh City, for example, through Emirates, through Dubai to Cyprus. What are the major objectives of HNWI investors to choose Cyprus as a relocation point? The biggest objective is the family wellness. All right, more than 40% of our investors choose Cyprus because they are thinking of their family, to create a backup plan for their kids or for themselves for the future in case of political or economical instability in their respective countries. Now, why do they choose Cyprus? One major point would be that English is the second official language in Cyprus. More than 90% of the local population do speak English here, which is very convenient to compare, for example, with Greece or Spain or Portugal or other major relocation points where you have to actually learn the local language. I've traveled around the world, so I know how it is. And for example, people in Spain just do not speak English. Spain is a nice country, but you will have problems there with the language. In Cyprus, you do not have these problems. In connection to this, we have a big variety of private international schools, which are all use English education. And it's fairly easy to get into these schools. Once again, in comparison to other countries, there are no language entry exams. So basically, if you have a child, if you want for him to receive European education, you can do so in Cyprus. And a small point to mention, the cost of attending these schools is fairly low. It's about €7,500 per year, which is really not expensive for a private schools. There is also a wide range of private universities here, which offer English language education programs, as well as government universities who also offer English language education programs. So of course, the first official language in Cyprus is Greek, but if you don't know Greek, if you only know English, you will have a very easy and very convenient life here still. Cyprus, as I already mentioned on the previous slide, has a long multicultural history. Not to go too much into the details, but basically the ancient Greeks were here, the Romans were here, the Venetians, the Phoenicians, the Crusaders, Richard Lionheart was here. And so based on that, the local society is so used to foreign people being here that it's very foreigner friendly. And I think this is a major point especially for Asian investors who might not always feel very welcomed in other countries. In Cyprus, you do not have this problem at all. You will never find a local person who, I don't know, looks at you the wrong way just for you not being European. On top of that, or part of that, is Cyprus being a safe country, is one of the safest countries, not only in Europe, but also in the world. I will show you some statistics on the next slide in connection to this. And of course, you can also view Cyprus not just as a relocation point for you right now. Many investors choose to participate in the Cyprus Investment Program to obtain residency for their kids, to send them here for education or maybe for future life, as well as for their parents to have a retirement here, to have pension here, or for themselves when they are finally ready to retire. Cyprus is a very nice place for this. On this slide is a recent statistic that I found, and I find it very interesting. This shows the percentage of foreign nationals in the European Union countries. And as you can see, Cyprus is ranked number 2 with 18% of foreign nationals. This is quite a big number. And this number only represents actual foreign nationals who are located in Cyprus. That means on top of that, there are foreigners who already have the Cyprus citizenship, who are not counted as foreigners anymore, even though they come from other countries. So once again, to show you that Cyprus is very foreigner friendly and there is a big foreign society here. Coming back to the security and to the safety, you don't really need to look too much into the statistic. This is official statistic of Eurostat. Police recorded offenses per 100,000 inhabitants. Basically, just look at the graph and just see where Cyprus is and how low the graph goes. And then maybe if you look further to the left and you look at countries who have competition with Cyprus, with residency programs, you look at Portugal. I can show you here. Portugal, Malta, Ireland, Greece, Spain is even higher. So these countries are really not very safe. Cyprus, in comparison, is very, very, very safe. Just from my own personal perspective, I can tell you, living here for 5 years, it's so safe that it's like in the movies, in American movies from the 50s. Nobody locks their doors. Local people, they don't lock their doors when they leave the house. You can often see it, which is for us coming from developing countries. Me myself, I'm from Russia originally. It's a strange sight to see that somebody parks to go into the shop, leaves the ignition on, leaves the car keys in the car, and just goes into the shop. This is just to show you how safe it is for children, for women, for wealthy investors. It's very safe for everyone. Other major reasons to invest into Cyprus are its climate and its natural environment. I will speak a little bit more about the graphs, that this needs some explanation. Cyprus has a very nice weather. It's more than 320 days of sunshine per year. And this is a very low estimate. In the recent 2-3 years have been quite rainy. This is why we say 320 now. But on average, you might have a year where it has 340 days of sunshine. Basically, it's always sunny. There is a nice diet here, the famous Mediterranean diet, lots of healthy food, lots of locally grown food, vegetables, a big variety of fruits. So if you care about your health and healthy lifestyle, Cyprus is definitely for you. Lots of sports and recreation possibilities. I will tell this to you on the next slide. We have numerous 5-star hotels. We have several marinas, which I know wealthy people like yachts, like to go out on yachts, and we have several new marinas for this purpose, and several awarded golf courses, because of course another thing that wealthy people like is not just the yacht, is also to play golf with other wealthy people, to connect with them, and you have the possibility of this here in Cyprus. Coming to the graph that you see on the right side, this is the air quality in the world and in Europe. I know it's tough to see because Cyprus is very small, so you might not really understand. Don't go into that too much. If you see Asia, basically you see lots of yellow and red dots. Now, yellow and red means very, very bad. Even yellow is bad. It's not like the red light, yellow is okay. No, yellow is not okay. And if you see here in Europe, once again, even the better countries have the green dots, and the green is, as you can see here, is fair. But Cyprus is the aquamarine dot, the very light blue dot. So it means superb air quality, the best that you can find in the world. The reason being, there is no heavy industry here. This is why there is no pollution. So once again, if you care about your health, it's a great place. And this all leads to the last point. The average life expectancy in Cyprus is at least, and these are very conservative numbers, 6 years higher than in Vietnam, and even higher than other developing countries. Once again, in my opinion, these numbers are very conservative. I think the real statistics in the countries with a lot of pollution, with a lot of population, to be honest, should be even lower. On this slide, you can see all the various outdoor sports and recreation possibilities that you can find in Cyprus. Basically, anything connected to water sports, obviously, water ski and surfing and kite surfing and so on. There are a lot of hiking possibilities as well. Cyprus has a mountain range in the middle of the island. So if you prefer to be out in nature, to be in the woods, you find that possibility as well. And which might be very surprising to a lot of you who have heard all these things that I say, and Cyprus has, you know, warm climate and sun all the time, you might be surprised to find that in the mountains, we actually do have snow in the winter. So on a good year, you might have up to 3 months snow, and you can enjoy skiing and snowboarding there as well. And this is just for you to understand, the snow will be maybe 70 kilometers away from the sea. So at the coast in winter, you have like 18 degrees, 16 degrees plus Celsius, and you go 70 kilometers inland, and you already find yourself in the snowy mountains skiing. Very nice. Now, the second part, major reasons to invest in Cyprus, apart from family wellness, are the business incentives. Cyprus, if you know or don't know, is a low taxation country. It has one of the lowest taxes in the European Union. For example, the corporate tax is only 12.5% in comparison to Greece or Spain, where you have 25%. No, this is double, all right? And it can go up to 30–40% depending on the country. Cyprus has double taxation treaties with many countries. There is a decent personal income tax. There is no property tax, which is important for all of us because we are talking about investing into real estate. So there is no permanent property, no annual property tax. You don't have to pay anything for just owning real estate. And there is no inheritance tax. So if you want, you know, your children to inherit the investments that we have here, they will pay no taxes as well. Cyprus citizenship does not make you a tax resident. So what it means is you are free to choose to either be tax resident of Cyprus or not to be one, in case you have more profitable tax residencies in other countries in the world. There is a number of modern office centers, a lot of business services, business-related services like accounting companies and lawyers. It's very easy to establish a company headquarters in Cyprus. And on top of the general low taxes, you also have special tax incentives, even lower taxes for some industries, which are shipping industries, the forex industry, the IT industry, stock trade, and movie companies. To give you an example, how businesses relocate to Cyprus, there is one of the biggest gaming companies, you know, computer gaming in the world, called wargaming.net. For those of you who know a little bit about computer games, their most famous game is World of Tanks. I know it's very popular in Asia, generally worldwide. So this company originally comes from Russia, from Belarus. And they came to a point when they were growing then that they wanted, you know, more tax incentives. So they relocated the whole company, and this is 3,000 employees, to Cyprus. So, you know, perfect example how your business can save on money. Now, when we talk about investing into real estate and then participating in the Cyprus Investment Program, the passport itself and the wellness, this is all fine and nice, and people like it. But of course, all wealthy people, all HNWI investors like to look at numbers. You know, what can I get from my investment apart from the documents, you know, apart from becoming a European Union citizen economically? And here we have some numbers for you. If you make the right investment with prime property, you can have an appreciation, a capital growth of 8 to 10% per year for the first 2–3 years on your investment. And in case of purchasing off plan, you can have even more. To be honest, just to cut the presentation shorter, I have not included specific examples, but we have examples of our property which reached up to 19% capital gain per year. Of course, we do not guarantee that it happens to all the properties, but this is what you can get. This is not something that, you know, I made up and now I want to pursue you. This is a real life example. When we talk one-on-one, you know, when you have the interest, I can give you specific details on this investment. Let's go further down. A few details on what to invest in and where. This is an official statistic from visualcapitalist.com. And this basically shows you that investments into residential real estate are the most interesting ones. As you can see, 3/4 of the market share go to investments into real estate, residential real estate, apartments and houses alike. This is a small map of Cyprus with some numbers to go with it, to talk about investments. Now, as you can see, for those of you who are not very familiar with Cyprus, I'm not, you know, I can talk a lot about Cyprus. I don't want to do it right now, but for you to understand, Limassol is where the prime property headquarters are located. It's basically the financial hub of the island. Here, the major port is here. Big casino resort will be built here, which I will talk about later as well. And most of the foreign company headquarters are located in Limassol. Paphos is a nice touristic area. It's very quiet, and people who prefer to come to Cyprus for tourism, they would prefer Paphos. And basically, as you can see also percentage-wise, these percent in the circles, these are a percent of real estate transactions annually. So you can see Paphos and Limassol together take up more than 61% of the real estate transactions on the island. The capital is Nicosia. The problem with Nicosia is, especially the problem for foreign investors, is that it's located inland. So you kind of lose the major advantage of investing into a Mediterranean island when you invest into the middle of the island. You don't have sea view there. You don't have connection to the sea. I mean, you have to drive with a car, even though Cyprus is not very, very big. But still, you know, why not live at the coast? And you know, you can see this in numbers. The numbers reflect this idea. The numbers here on the arrows are the growth of real estate transactions per year. Now, the reason you see 10% in Nicosia is because Nicosia is very popular on the local market. Local people like their capital. You know, it's still the capital. So, and it has relatively low-priced real estate, and a lot of local businesses have their headquarters in Nicosia. So local people often move to Nicosia for work. Now, for us foreigners, of course, and for foreign investors, once again, these areas are more interesting. Here, another map which shows us the property prices, the rise of the property prices on 2018 versus 2017. This is official statistic of PricewaterhouseCoopers. I'm sure everybody knows this company, one of the major, if not the biggest, accounting company worldwide. So this statistic clearly shows us where is it profitable to invest. I mean, do I really need to say something? 8.6% for Limassol. Paphos, all right, also not bad. 5.3%. Nicosia, as you can see, almost no growth. The rental market in Cyprus is also not bad. So when we talk about, yes, capital gain, 8, 10, 12%, what can you expect afterwards? You know, when your property is finished, when the prices stop growing so much, you can still expect an appreciation of 3 to 5% rental yield per year, which I do understand that for Vietnam, it might not sound so much. I've talked a lot to Vietnamese investors, and they expect maybe numbers of 7, 8, 10%. But you have to understand, Cyprus is a very stable country. Euro is a very stable currency. So in these circumstances, to have a 5% rental yield per year is not bad. Okay, what is the economic growth of Cyprus based on? All right, and does it even have growth at all? Here, this slide illustrates the answers to these questions. The economy of Cyprus grows a lot, on average, more than double that from the EU average. So it's 3.2% per year in compared to 1.44% on the EU, except the industries that I already mentioned. Cyprus also enjoys a lot of tourism. So tourism has doubled over the last 10 years from 2 to 4 million. So once again, as I said before, Cyprus has a population of 1 million, and we have, of course, I'm speaking pre-coronavirus times, which we hope will be back soon. Cyprus receives 4 million tourists yearly. So this is 4 times the local population. But Cyprus is not solely dependent on tourism. And what we can expect more in the future, there are 2 major things that will lead to more economical growth. One is there are gas reserves. A major gas field has been found off the coast of Cyprus. And it's actually, they already began exploiting it. I can see a huge gas rig outside in the sea, you know, from the window. And the second part is the construction of a major casino resort. We will speak about it more on the next slide. This is it. It's going to be called, or it is already called, even though it's not constructed yet, a City of Dreams. City of Dreams in Limassol. It's going to cost 550 million euro of investment, and it's estimated to bring 700 million euro per year of incomes to the budget of Cyprus. Now, we all know that Asian investors, or maybe generally wealthy people, like to play in the casino, and when you will be living in Cyprus, there will be no need to go to Macau anymore, or to go to Las Vegas, which is even further away. You will be able to do it all in Cyprus. Now, a few details, just numbers and some details about the Cyprus investment programs. Well, let's start with the citizenship program. So to participate in the program, you have to invest 2 million euro into real estate, into residential real estate. If we talk about commercial real estate, you will have to invest 500,000 more. The reason being that you have to keep a property worth of 500,000 euro for yourself as your primary residence. Now, either it's included in these 2 million if you invest into residential real estate, or it has to be, if it's 2 million euro investment into commercial real estate, you have to invest another 500,000 into residential real estate. And a small donation of 150,000 to some government funds, which, by the way, will not disappear. It will not land in some politician's pocket. This money will be used to improve the quality of life on the island for the investors themselves. Now, the good thing, a major benefit of the Cyprus citizenship program is that you only have to keep the investment for 5 years, apart from your permanent residency, which you obviously have to keep for life. And the rest you can resell after 5 years with a hefty profit, as we already talked about before. Now, some other benefits that you can enjoy with the program. It's the fastest program in Europe, 6 to 8 months, and you can get the Cyprus citizenship. Cyprus allows you to have dual citizenship, and by the way, they have a dual citizenship treaty with Vietnam, as far as I know, so there should be no problems there. The citizenship program not only covers the investor and his spouse and his immediate family, like his children, financially dependent children up to 28 years old, but also the parents of the investor. However, if you want your parents to apply for a citizenship as well, they would have to purchase another 500,000 worth of property to be their permanent primary residence. I'm sorry. And of course, you know, when you become a European Union citizen, this gives you a lot of freedom of moving about the world. Basically, visa-free entrance to more than 150. Actually, right now, I think it's more than 158 countries. Which are, of course, all the European Union countries, all the Commonwealth countries, like Canada, like Australia, and so on. You know, 158 countries worldwide is 3/4 of the whole world, just to make it short, all right? And of course, you have the right, being a full European Union citizen, to live and work in any country in Europe. So even if you, let's say, you don't like Cyprus, maybe because it's a little bit too boring, for you, if you like active lifestyle and a bustling city like Paris, you get the Cyprus citizenship, you can move to Paris, no problem. Some details about the permanent residency program. The permanent residency costs only 300,000 euro. It will be given to the whole family again, without any additional investments. And as a difference to the citizenship program, also your spouse's parents can apply for a permanent residency. A major plus of the Cyprus PR program is that the investors do not have to live in Cyprus or to stay in Cyprus for any prolonged time. So in comparison to, let's say, Spain, where they will make you go through a lot of hurdles, you know, you have to stay there for months and they don't even tell you when it will be ready and you're not allowed to leave. And this is a big problem for wealthy people who have, you know, their business, let's say, in Vietnam, and then who cannot just go out and stay indefinitely in a country, in another country far away the globe, and they don't know when they're going to come back. In Cyprus, you don't have this problem. You come, you are supposed to come, you have to come once every 2 years, you stay for a day, you know, you sign some documents initially, you give the biometrics. For the biometrics, you actually have to be present here in person. And then you can leave again if you don't want to stay here, no problem. Now, to the final point of my presentation, I will talk a little bit about Prime Property Group itself. We are, just to start off, the major advantage that we have in comparison to other companies in Cyprus is that we are the only company, regardless of what anybody else tells you, who has the one-stop shop services in-house. It means in-house, in the HQ. We have a property maintenance department. We have concierge services. We have an immigration department, and which I will talk a little bit more about it because we had a person ask some question about it. We have the property brokerage department. So it means we are not only developers, we are also real estate agents. So we work closely with all other developers. Most other developers in Cyprus. We work a lot with second-hand real estate. And how can it be beneficial to your investors is they invest. They want to resell afterward, or they want to rent out. As you can see, we have a rental management department as well. Whatever they want to do with their real estate, we can help them. They don't have to find any other company, even if it, let's say, would come recommended from us. No, nothing like this. Everything is in-house, full service. And I think this is very convenient, especially for Asian investors who, let's be honest, they often choose not to live in Cyprus. They choose to invest and to move back. And they, don't want any worries. They want everything to be taken care of. And this is what we offer. Some numbers about our company. We have been operating for 17 years. We have 88 of our own projects. It means our own developments. I will show you a few pictures about our own projects. We have more than 10,000 properties in the catalog on the website. So it means our project as well as projects from other developers or from individuals who want to resell. And over the years, we had more than 1,000 satisfied customers. This is a picture of our project in Paphos. Most of our projects are in Limassol, but we have an interesting project in Paphos as well. Here you can see it. We call this segment affordable luxury. Basically, this is business class project. I do not want, time-wise to go too much into the details about the affordable luxury, but what it basically is luxury class real estate at more affordable prices. If you're interested about the details, we can talk about this more one-on-one. I will give you all the details. This is how the projects look inside. So basically, all our projects have a communal swimming pool. You cannot see it in this picture, but all our penthouses have private swimming pools. We have top standard finishes. It means marble in the bathrooms. This is standard for us. Underfloor heating, which obviously is impossible to see in that picture, but all our projects have underfloor heating. This is also standard for us. Parquet floors, high quality furniture. The Sky Tower, our first tower, located in Limassol. As you can see from this screenshot of the webcam, it's being constructed. It's almost ready, almost finished. And you can actually follow the construction live on our webpage. And here you can see how it's going to look. Quite nice, superior design from a famous London architect. It's called UHA. And some villas in Limassol from us. This is also affordable luxury, nice standard projects. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it from me for the first part of the presentation. And now you will see, we are actually broadcasting from one of our projects. It's a 5-bedroom penthouse in one of our luxury properties called Blue Ocean, located in the city center of Limassol on the first line. Unfortunately, the lighting settings do not allow me to just show you the view outside. It's straight sea, but we will show you a 2-minute video right now from the project and from the penthouse while we set up for the second part of the webinar, which will be an interview with our sales director, Mr. George. Thank you.
Thank you, Anton. We're going to play the video for you guys now.
All right, thanks for that, Nick. You can see us, you can hear us, everything's fine.
Sorry, yeah, everything's
Yes?
good, looking good.
All right, all right. Okay, next to me is my my boss, our sales director, and my friend as well, yes, Mr. George Dokuchaev. And I will be asking him some questions that I prepared beforehand. And also the guests, the participants can ask questions and we will answer all of them. So George, welcome please. Yes. To start off, let me ask you this. So Prime is a fairly young company for real estate terms. I mean, only 17 years on the market in comparison to our competitors who have been on the market for generations. And yet we managed in these 17 years to become one of the biggest companies in Cyprus. How did we do it? You know, what's our specialty?
Yes, hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is George. Let me introduce myself briefly one more time. I'm the commercial director of Prime Property Group. We have been on the real estate market for 17 years, as Anton rightly said. And for the first 7 years, we were trying to build something which can be called as a one-stop shop, okay? And approximately 10 years ago, we realized that we were ready to take it to the next level, to convert our brokerage business into a more serious business, development business, and we were able to do that. And we have become very successful, especially in Limassol, where we have become a leading, if not the leading property developer in the prime segment. And one of the reasons behind it is because we have been able to create and facilitate the one-stop shop concept, which Anton presented 5 minutes ago. And this presentation is not an empty marketing statement, it's a real fact. When you come to Cyprus, you will see that Prime Property Group is a big group of companies with 6, 7, 8 self-sufficient, successful businesses under the same umbrella of the Prime Property brand. And most importantly, we have a rental management business, which is a very successful business, and we are the biggest rental managers in Limassol. And apart from that, we also have a property management company, which is responsible for the maintenance of common areas in our projects, which is also very important because it's very hard to find one company who does all these things. For example, in Limassol, you can find very professional rental managers, or you can find very professional developers, or you can find very professional real estate brokers. But those are going to be 3 different companies. With Prime Property, you don't have to find 3 different companies. What you need to do, you need to work with Prime Property, and you are going to have all those services. It sounds quite logical to anyone, but amazingly, no other company in Cyprus has been able to create something which could be even compared to this. Okay, so that's why we have been successful, and I think that this one-stop shop concept has been the biggest driving force of our success. Apart from that, we're also very competitive in terms of the luxuriousness and I would say the commercial attractiveness of our projects. We have more than 80 projects now, and 80% of those projects have been sold out, which is a very, very good indicator of our success. And we continue to buy new plots, and we continue to buy to build new projects. So I think, but the main competitive advantage of Prime Property Group is that when you work with Prime Property Group, you don't have to find anyone else. And also we have a big furniture shop, like in this penthouse, which you see now, and the video of which you just saw, you just watched. This penthouse was furnished by our furniture shop. So in our furniture shop, we have more than 30 luxurious furniture brands from the best countries like Italy, Sweden, Norway. And apart from that, you can also, I would say, enjoy the interior design services of our furniture shop, which is also a big advantage.
Thank you, George. Thank you. So my second question would be in connection to that. We are constantly expanding and we want to keep on growing. You know, we want to be even more and more and more successful. And what we have started recently, what I heard is we have started our expansion into the Greece market, because Greece is a very popular country. It has, you know, to be honest, a very popular and competitive PR program as well. So can you talk a little bit about this?
Greece is a very close country to Cyprus geographically and also in terms of culture. I think Greece. I'm sure Greece is the best, I would say, looking country in terms of nature and all those islands. I think Greece is one of the most picturesque countries in the world. Greece also has a very rich cultural heritage, and I think that in terms of tourism, Greece definitely is one of the top, destinations in the European Union. Okay. Apart from that, Greece has been promoting a very attractive permanent residency by investment package, which is cheaper than in Cyprus. As you have heard already, the Cyprus PR permanent residency program costs 300,000 euros plus VAT. In Greece, it's cheaper. It's, I think, 250,000 euros. And also you can buy a resale property in Greece. In Cyprus, you have to buy a new property, which means that you have to pay the VAT. Apart from that, Greece is a beautiful country, and also Greece is a member state of the Schengen Agreement, which means that if you are a resident in Greece, you are able to travel across, the European Union in most of the countries of the European Union. Cyprus is not a member state of the Schengen Agreement, even though Cyprus is a member state of the European Union. But Cyprus is still yet to enter the Schengen zone. Okay, it hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen very soon. But obviously, the Greek program, the permanent residency program, is cheaper, and it allows you to travel across Europe. These are the two major advantages of the Greek permanent residency program. A small disadvantage there is that, in comparison to the Cyprus program, is that every now and then you would have to renew your permanent residency card, which you don't have to do in Cyprus. And a lot of people have been investing in the Cyprus PR program on that basis, because they don't want to resubmit all those documents every 2 or every 5 years. Okay, so and also in the future, in very near future, we hope that Cyprus is going to enter the Schengen Agreement, and the Cyprus PR cards are going to allow the investors to travel around Europe. But yes, Greece is a very big market for permanent residency by investment globally, and I think that investors from Asian countries like China and Vietnam have been investing a lot in the Greek permanent residency program. They have also been investing a lot in the Cyprus permanent residency program. But we want to combine. We want to diversify our business, obviously, and we have invested. We have made our first investment in Athens, and we are going to expand in Athens. For us, it's very logical because all the official language here in Cyprus is Greek, which is the case in Greece, obviously. So there is a lot of synergies, and there is a lot of logical, expansion plans for us to start working in Greece, which we have started to do, and we are going to grow our business in Greece. I think that we are going to focus mainly in Athens. Okay, and also we have our first investment there, and there is a property which we will be happy to offer to our prospective clients. So if you want to know more about it, please get in touch with us.
Yes, thank you, George. And if I can add a little bit towards that, to the Greek, why, Greece sounds very nice, but why should you work with prime property in Greece when obviously our focus and, our strength in Cyprus? I can tell you the disadvantage of Greece towards Cyprus is the lack of good quality properties. This is a major problem in Greece. This is why we decided to start construction in Greece ourselves, because we see it as a big gap on the market there. We have employees there who know a lot about the Greek real estate market. They've been working there for decades, not with us, just on the Greek real estate market. And this is the point that we see, and this is the reason why even if you choose Greece, you should work to prime property, because if you work there with other companies, you cannot really be guaranteed good quality real estate, which is the total opposite in Cyprus. By the way, Cyprus has, for such a small island, is a really amazing real estate. If you on the future point will go through our projects, you will see that for such a small island, the projects are really top notch, I would say. Now, related to our expansion in general, and also to this webinar, we have, and to myself working in Prime, the reason why I came to work for Prime, I have more than 10 years experience in business development in Asia. I have lived in Asia for many years, and I have joined Prime to help this company expand into the Asian market. Now, of course, the reason being for this webinar as well. And we have implemented a new structure in Asia. And can you tell to our listeners a little bit about this?
Yes, our company is very focused on the client on client satisfaction. Our business model is client obsession. Okay, we realize that at some point, because a lot of companies in Cyprus, they just they sell real estate by selling square meters, and also the strategy is to copy other companies, and also is to invest a lot of money in marketing and just to reach the highest sales, and they are very sales focused. We were also like that in the very beginning, but at some point we realized that the best strategy for us would be client obsession. So when we have a client, the client is the king. Okay, and for us to be able to reinforce that statement into concrete actions is to approach our clients and and to be next to them. In order to do that, you need to have an office. When you have a lot of clients, for example, a lot of clients in China, and approximately 20-25% of our revenues are coming from the Chinese market, you need to be next to your clients to be able to assist them. And that's why we have decided to create a team of client relationship managers based in China. Okay, and the same approach has been applied to Vietnam. Okay, so it was a very critical decision which was made approximately half a year ago, maybe a year ago. And 1 year ago, we started to build this this team, and now I think that we have been able have managed to build a very good team of people who who are going to support our clients. I think that our team in China is around 4 people, and our team in Vietnam is now 1 person. But I think that in the future is going to be a bigger team of people, depending on the amount of business that we're going to be getting from Vietnam. But for us, it's very important. For us, we need to make sure that our client is happy. And if our clients need any kind of support with traveling documents, with money transfers, with any kind of marketing support and price list, layouts, and also in terms of taxation, we need to build those, communication bridges to reach our clients. And a very crucial part of this is going to be the China and the Vietnam based teams, which we have built. So I think that in one of our slides we are going to have this map with the photographs of those nice people that we hired. But at the same time, the Vietnamese market can be reassured that Prime Property is going to be supporting them with the best specialists who are going to be based next to them, which is very helpful.
All right, thanks, George. Okay, I might add a little bit towards that myself. We will not have the slides, the map with the faces today. We decided just to keep it simple with the interview style today. But yes, we do have a very nice, energetic young lady, Miss Tao Wu, who maybe has spoken to some of you already. If not, she's there, on the ground, already experienced. She has the materials on hand. So if you need help, if you need connections, she is obviously Vietnamese, but she speaks very good English. She's been working abroad for many years. So we do have the connection on the ground. And just to add a little bit to what you said, George, because you focused a lot on client relations, but for us, more importantly, in these regions are partner relations. So all of you who are listening to us now, you are our partners, and you are the people with whom we want to build a fruitful relationship. We are not really looking to work directly with Asian clients. For a number of reasons. We would prefer to have stable partnership with existing partners on the ground, right? So our people are focused on providing the best service to our partners, but of course, they will help with the clients as well. So when you have clients that you want to introduce to us, and for example, just to cut a little bit in, there have been a few questions asked before the webinar, and I can actually answer them right now. Maybe one of the questions was, how do we help the client? Your client wants to purchase a property. Now, do we help with the documents? Do we help with all the necessary assistance services? In case it has not been clear so far, we can say yes, we give you help, not just help in Cyprus, but also help on the ground there in Vietnam. Your client is your client, you are our partner. We value the partner relationship more than we value client relationship in the end. So we are ready to help. And the other question, just to start answering some things, was about the refusal rate. Now, what is the refusal rate for citizenship or PR applications? The question was about Vietnam specifically. I can answer in general about Asia. The refusal rate is 0%. We haven't had up to date, not even one refusal, if, of course, all the documents have been submitted correctly. If one of the necessary things to provide is a clean criminal record. Now, of course, if your client is does not have a clean criminal record, he will get refused. Now, the due diligence process right now is quite tough, but right, we cannot help you with a clean criminal record, but we can help you to collect the documents, the necessary documents, to guide you which form they should be in, how they should be. And once you have all of these with our help, there is no refusal. So the acceptance is 100%. Now, George, another question. Okay, this question, I don't think I need to ask it to you. I wanted to ask you, how can partners benefit from working with Prime? But I think you already, yes, all right. On top of everything that you said, what other incentives can there be for partners to work with us rather than, let's say, with the competition? We don't mind, by the way, we don't mind if partners work with competition. We are a free country, we are a free business, but we often hear from more conservative partners things like, but I already work in Cyprus with, you know, a company. Why should I also work with Prime? Why?
Okay, I want to say that no company in Cyprus is going to cover all the different types of needs that your clients might have. Okay, so when you are choosing a partner in Cyprus, and we work a lot with partners, the average percentage of deals coming from partners is 80%. And I think in Asian countries like China and Vietnam, even though we haven't been big in Vietnam, I must admit, but in China, I think it's 90%. So we are very agent and partner friendly, and we depend a lot on our partners. What I meant when I said that we were happy to assist our clients, it's always done together with the partner, because this is what the partner appreciates as well, as much as the client. Okay, so we have been working a lot with our partners in China, and the good example in China is that our China-based representatives interact mostly with the partners, and we have numerous, like hundreds of partners in China. And this teamwork is very crucial, and this is what makes it work. So by no means we are going to promote ourselves strongly to approach to the client. I think that our main focus is going to be like in China, also like in Russia, and also like in European countries, is to focus on our interaction with the partner network. This is the way we do it, and this is the way we are going to continue to do it. And also, I just would like to repeat myself, is that it's hard to find a company who is going to offer a very broad range of services and products. Prime property is also, I would say, is not the only company who has a broad range of different types of projects. But if you look at the market, and if you look at the biggest Cyprus developers, you will realize that their product portfolio is very limited. One of those companies are strong with cheaper real estate, cheaper villas, cheaper apartments, outside of the city in Paphos. This is number one. Another company from the biggest Cyprus developers is going to be strong with golf projects, high-rise buildings, marinas, and things like that. So each developer has a sort of a strength or a niche in which this company is specialized. And this company is not going to offer you, by any means, is not going to offer you a good one-stop shop service. And you can try it, and we have seen it a lot. Prime Property has projects in 3 major real estate markets in Cyprus, 3 biggest cities, which are Limassol, Paphos, and Nicosia. And Prime Property has properties in 6 different segments. The only thing which we don't have is I would say, affordable housing. This is what we don't have, because we don't believe in this. What we believe in this are basically 2 segments. The first one is the affordable luxury segment, which is the biggest, by the way, which is the most I would say viable and the most profitable property segment in Limassol and Paphos. And the other one in which we believe is the premium elite or deluxe lifestyle real estate, which we also believe in. Not as much as in the affordable luxury segment, but these 2 markets are the biggest markets. It's like 75% of the Cyprus real estate market, and you have to understand that. So if you want to make a profitable investment, you have to be considering your investment in one of those into 2 property segments. And within those 2 segments, we have 80 projects, and we have a very good track record of successfully built, completed, and managed projects in Cyprus. So you will come and you will see the extensive portfolio of our completed projects. And for example, for the projects which we are building, which are also 80% sold. There are live cameras on the website. There are photo galleries, reporting about the construction sites. You can go, you can check it on our website. So we are very agent friendly and partner friendly, and we're also very client friendly. Not in the way that we are going to approach our clients behind the backs of our partners, but our client friendliness is something from which our partners are also going to benefit, because your clients or our partners' clients are going to enjoy working with Prime Property Group. So this is what I meant.
All right. Thank you, George. Now, a little bit, we'll say, more relaxed question is: I have heard that you yourself recently moved into a prime property project, and I have heard you talk about it, with a lot of passion and a lot of feeling, not as a marketing strategy, but in private conversations. Now, can you share with us your first-hand experience? How does it feel to live in a project made by Prime Property Group?
Yeah, for me, it was a very emotional, it was a very big step, because before I moved to that project, I had been living in one old property for a long time, to which I had emotional attachment. So I liked it a lot, and I have a lot of memories living in that property. But at some point, I realized that, I need to experience the same lifestyle as my clients. And approximately 1 year ago, I moved to a new place. So, and my life, okay, it didn't completely change, but now I'm a different person, because my life is different now. For example, and also this was very obvious to me. It became very obvious to me, or it became even more obvious to me during the lockdown, because in Cyprus we had almost 3 months of strict quarantine, which means that all the gyms and the hotels and restaurants, they were closed, and people became very, I would say, overweight, because they had to eat all the time, because they had to stay at home, and it was not possible to do sports, and also all the outdoor exercise activities were prohibited, because people were not allowed to go out of home for more than one time per day. So it was very tough, and the clients of Prime Property were the only people who were able to go to the gym. And I was going for 3 months. I was going to the gym every day. So this is when I realized that it was a big luxury, for me, and also everyone else around me who were my neighbors in the same project. They were going to the gym, and we were enjoying our lives like it was nothing, like the quarantine was nothing. So it was a very big experience for me. And my apartment is very good. I have high ceilings, I have parquet floors, marble tiles in the bathrooms, I have underfloor heating, I have a very nice interior, created by our furniture shop. It's amazing, and the property is very high quality. The lifts are nice. We have Swiss lifts, and we have a sauna. So you can, after you are finished with the gym, you can go to the sauna, which is amazing. And on the pool there is 20 meters, so you cannot imagine. And if I want, I can walk to the sea, because it's 500 meters from the beach. It's amazing, and also it's not far away from my work. So in this property, I mean, it's a little bit more expensive than the properties of our competitors, maybe 50,000 euro more expensive. But it's worth it, because all the benefits in terms of your lifestyle and the health, and also the enjoyment of life, it's more than 50,000 euros. I think that it's a different life, and everyone is happy. When you come to a prime property project, you will see lots of happy families, because they are perfect for family lives. And if you don't want to use it for the entire year, you can give it to our rental management company, and they're going to rent it out for you for 8 months, and you will still be able to use it when there is no tenant inside. So it's amazing.
All right, thank you, George. Actually, it's very inspirational. To be honest, I myself want to move to a prime property project. Hopefully, I can do it very soon. Now, coming back to a little bit more serious conversation, I already introduced this part in my presentation, but still, just maybe to hear some insights from you. When we talk about buying prime property real estate, or cooperating with prime property, we often put emphasis on the financial side of this cooperation, you know, on the investment side. Now, in comparison to, let's say, our competitors, who when they present their projects, they talk about just the project, you know, this building, that building, this apartment, okay, and that's it. We have a lot of people who work with us because of investments, because it's profitable, on top of all the other nice things. Now, why is cooperation with our company so special? Why can we offer such good investments in comparison to other people?
I think that it's up to the, you know, I'm sure that
We can't hear you now. We can't hear you now, guys. Sorry.
now,
Yeah,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Just while I've got you, I just want to let you know that we do have a couple of additional questions
Okay.
from the listeners as well.
I still have more of my own questions, but we can make a break between my questions and answer some questions from the audience.
I can answer Anton's question, just not to forget it, and after that we can answer our attendees' questions.
Fantastic. Okay.
Okay. In terms of investment attractiveness and investment, you know, everything can be a good investment if the price is right. You know, so I wouldn't say that Prime Property Group is the only company who is able to give, you know, the best investments. What you need to avoid is like trusting what your seller is going to tell you. So ideally, you have to do your own homework. And Prime Property is not the only company who is not afraid of our clients doing their own homework. Okay, because we never give fake numbers. We try not to give promises that we cannot keep. So what we want to be, and what we have always been, is a company who is a reliable company in terms of the promises that we make. You know, okay. So I have seen some ridiculous offers coming from other companies, like guaranteed buybacks, 8% rental yields, and you know, a decent real estate specialist and an investment consultant in Cyprus will never give you numbers like that. Okay. So what we do, the main, I would say, not business concept, but the main ethical, I would say, foundation of what we do is we want to minimize the amount of embarrassment, of possible embarrassment in the future when we said something and we couldn't make it. We don't want to do that. Okay, so that's why any kind of rental yields and any kind of capital growth forecasts are going to be based, and are always based, on some factual, real numbers coming from real life. Okay, so this is what we can promise, and you know, transparency, honesty are the best selling tools for us, and it has you know proven to be very successful, because we have seen a lot of companies and competitors speculating by giving fake numbers, or competitors over promising about capital growth and rental yield and things like that. So we don't want to do that. So what you are going to get from us is going to be honest and transparent approach, which is going to be based on real life numbers. Okay, and and I will repeat it one more time. We are not afraid our clients to do their own homework if they want to.
All right, thank you, Josh. Okay, Nick, I think we are ready to hear some questions at this stage. Yes.
Okay, good. So there's two. Just we're coming close to the end of our allotted time now. So the first question is very succinct. If you just bear with me 1 second, I'll bring it up. You touched a little bit on the 80% of all your properties being sold, and obviously the rate of return being greater for off-plan. Can you just specify exactly what percent of your projects are currently complete, and what percent are in process, and what percent are off-plan currently?
Okay, we have completed approximately 30, I think 25 now, and several of those are being completed right now. So I would say 1/3 of this has been completed, 1/3 of this is being built, and 1/3 of this is going to be built. So it has been announced that we're going to build it, because we sell a lot off plan. You know, this is the way to do it in Cyprus, because in the Cyprus real estate market is still very immature. You know, you will come here, you will see that, okay, there is a lot of billboards and a lot of companies who are claiming that they're going to build something, but in terms of the size of the market is very small, and there are you know, a lot of you know, I would say a lot of things which are not you know, built, or which are not sold at the moment. And in general, the Cyprus real estate market is emerging, is not a very big market. Okay, and a lot of companies have announced a lot of new projects. Okay, I don't think that all those projects are going to be built very soon because of the current COVID crisis. But at the same time, our company has been able to launch lots of projects because of our approach. And our approach in sales is that when we like to attract early buyers, so we like to sell off plan. Okay, and it's not risky. So you can buy off plan in Cyprus, because in Cyprus we have a very reliable legal system based on the British law. Apart from that, we have, you know, there are construction guarantees and escrow accounts and things like that. Okay, by selling off plan, we have been able to build a huge portfolio of properties. This is the way we do business. But 1/3 of our portfolio has been completed, 1/3 of our portfolio is being built, and 1/3 is something that we have announced, and something where we have, you know, some, you know, nice off plan options, where the prices are going to be even more attractive. And I must say that, you know, with Prime Property Group, if your investment is off plan or something which is under construction, you are going to get a discount. And we don't hide it. This is the way we work. So we like to motivate our buyers by giving some motivations to buy off plan. And this is the way we have built our. Apart from that, of course, I mean, one of the driving force behind this enormous amount of projects has been the passport program. We must admit it. I mean, we are a good company, we are smart people, but some 7 years ago, we only had 3 projects. So we became big by necessity, because we had a lot of people coming to Cyprus and not, you know, they were not able to find what they were looking for. And we, you know, we were very, I would say, lucky to be there next to them, and, you know, to offer them what they were looking for. And that you know, this is how we became big. You know, apart from this, you know, one-stop shop concept, and apart from this client obsession business model, the big factor, like, I think maybe the biggest factor has been the passport program, and we have to be honest about that. But the passport program is going to stay around for a couple of years, and after the passport program, prime property is going to be unbeatable. It's going to be, I think that after that, the prime property is going to be the biggest developer in Cyprus, and we are going to keep reinforcing the same, you know, competitive advantages in 2 years from now, 5 years from now, because we have seen a lot of other you know, companies in Cyprus not being able, you know, to do the things we do. So.
All right, thank you, Nick.
Thanks very much. So yeah, I just want to move swiftly on. So you did touch a little bit there about the impact of COVID. I do want to wrap up with the question on that, but we did have a very good question, a very pertinent question come in during your presentation, Anton, from from IPCS of MPI. They say under current law, our MPI governs outbound investment. For those who want to invest abroad, like real estate in Cyprus, for example, they need approval of the MPI. But Vietnamese people, if they want to buy a house or to live in Cyprus, to resell without registering a certain company in your country, they're not allowed to take money from Vietnam to buy that house. So the reason that they're asking this is to clarify, to have your clarification, the ease of business, corporate registry, enterprise registration in Cyprus, to facilitate the ease of buying corporate or residential real estate. Is that a service that you can support yourselves, or do you have partners that you work with to facilitate those services?
All right, I will let George answer the actual question. What I wanted to say is, yes, about the COVID, we actually had some information prepared for this as well, some questions in regards to that, because of course, this is very interesting because we live in these COVID times. So we will talk about this. I think you are right. We should wrap up with this. And yes, we hear often about Vietnamese citizens having difficulty to transfer money abroad. We know about this. In the end, there is always a possibility. So it's not something extremely critical. We have had sales in Vietnam, multiple sales in Vietnam, and people always find a way. All right. This is just a general answer. The specific answer about ease of establishing company in Cyprus, specifically for Vietnamese people, George. How easy is this? Can we help? Do we have partners?
Yes, we have partners. Okay, you don't have to necessarily establish a company in Cyprus to buy real estate. So you can buy as an individual, and this is what people do. Because I mean, some clients are, they are asked to open companies in Cyprus because the lawyers asked for it, because this is a lawyer's business, but if your client strategy is to get is to rent his property or her property out, the way to do it is to buy as individual, because the rental taxes are very little, are very small in Cyprus, so there is no need to open a company in Cyprus. But if you do want to open a company in Cyprus, it's quite easy to do it. The most difficult part has been recently, like for the last 5 years, it has been transferring the money and opening a bank account. To open a company is not a big deal. You can buy a ready company for 3,000 euros, and it's going to take you 1 day, 2 days. It's done very fast. But the most time-consuming part is to open a bank account and also to transfer money. This is where a lot of people have been encountering big obstacles. Okay, and we have our own accounting department, and we also work with several I would say legal advisors and consultants in Cyprus who are able to explain. I mean, it's all about the procedures which cannot be avoided. The big thing is the source of fund. So whoever wants to send money to Cyprus or to buy property in Cyprus needs to explain the origin of the funds, and this is the most difficult part, right? Okay, so but we are able to explain to our clients, and I must say that we haven't lost a single case because of this. But by just explaining to our clients what kind of documents need to be submitted, and we also communicate with the bank, trying to explain on behalf of our clients. So this is the most difficult part, but this is done quite easily. The problem there is money, because banks charge, for this service, maybe 2,000 euros or several thousand euros. So your clients need to be ready to pay this money. And also it takes more time. It used to be 2 weeks. Now it might take up to 2 months. So these are the two major problems that we have. Not real problems. It just takes more time and costs more money. But again, we haven't lost a single deal because of that. But you need to understand that if you want to send a significant amount of money, and any amount of more than 100,000 euros is considered as significant, you need to explain the origin and the legality of your funds. Not all your funds. Because I think in other countries of European Union, the rules are and the procedures are even stricter. For example, in Malta, you have to explain the origin of all your net worth, which is much more difficult. In Cyprus, you have to explain the origin of the particular amount of money that you are going to be sending to your personal account in Cyprus or to the vendor, to the seller of the property. That's all you need to do. Plus, you have to submit a couple of official documents like your biography. And also, if you are applying for citizenship, you must be sure that you are not a politically exposed person. A politically exposed person is anyone who has taken governmental posts over the last 5 years. So this is the very formula. And there are databases where we can check anyone, and those databases are available to everyone, to any law firm. And number two, you must not be under sanctions. There are American sanctions, there are European sanctions. So you must be sure that you are not, so your client are not under sanctions. There are databases like WorldCheck is one of those databases where we can do this kind of due diligence for your clients, and it's not going to cost you. But if your client is not a politically exposed person, if your client is not under sanctions, and if your client has a clean criminal record, it's just a matter of a couple of formal procedures, to buy a property in Cyprus.
Okay,
Thank you, George. I hope this answers the questions completely. I'm not sure because yes, we do have. I mean, there are two obstacles to transferring money. The one is the local part here, which this is what George explained extensively right now. And then there is the part of transferring money out of Vietnam. Now, maybe we cannot help with it 100%. We are not international money launderers. I mean, sorry for being so direct. But there are steps that you can take. And just to finalize, to answer the question, which was actually asked about the ease of opening a company, as George said, very, very easy. It takes a few days, a few thousand euros, and that's it.
Okay, thanks very much for answering that question. So I'm very aware of the impact on our attendees' time, but if you could finish up by giving us some insight onto the impact of the coronavirus on the current climate and acceptability and the rate, the speed of applications, the construction processes, and just the friendliness of Cyprus to welcome Asian investors. That would be, I think, a really apt point on which to finish.
All right, sure, we'll do that. I have prepared a couple of questions in regard to COVID, but I think we can all summarize them into one question. Yes, so the one, or let's say two parts of one question. The one part would be, what is the impact, or what has it been, of the COVID situation in regards to real estate, investment, growth, construction speed, application speed, and so on and so on. And the other part would be, what has been the impact on COVID on the actual life here in Cyprus, the government response, the safety, the healthcare system, and so on. Let's start maybe with the real estate.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, the government response here was very, very appropriate. I think that Cyprus is one of the safest. I think Cyprus is one of the top 10 safest countries for tourism during the this coronavirus lockdown. Okay, even though there is no much tourism going on. The government response was very, very targeted, was very tough, because we had a very strict quarantine for two or 3 months. And I was the first one, because I came back from my business trip from Switzerland in March, and on next day, Switzerland became a dangerous country. And I was asked to stay at home, to work from home. For 2 weeks, I was the first person to study all these new applications, the Zooms. I was forced to learn how to, communicate with my teams from a distance. It was crazy. I couldn't get used to it very quickly, but I was the most experienced one. When I came to the office 2 weeks after, 70% of the people were asked, to stay at home. I was one of the very few people in the office. It was tough. But at the same time, all this toughness has resulted in very low rate of fatalities. There is no fatalities, and the number of new cases every day is almost zero. It has been zero for weeks now. Okay, and the airport has been reopened, has reopened, and okay, but there are no flights from Asia and from Russia, unfortunately. So we are still waiting for those flights to to relaunch. But at the same time, it has been very positive. The government is a very good government here, and by this tough quarantine for 2 months or 3 months, I don't remember exactly, we have a very safe environment right now. Everything is open. There is no disease. There is no disease. I think that there are a couple of cases that new cases that have been over the last 2 weeks or something like that. We are going to see whether or not there will be a second wave. Everyone is afraid of the second wave, but let's see what happens. What is going to happen? But coming back to the first part of the question, how the situation and the market has changed. Of course, it's very bad news for the market. Okay, because Cyprus depends on tourism a lot, and also the restaurants. Okay, the restaurants are now open, and the restaurants are functioning as normal, and there is a lot of people who are spending money in the restaurants and also cafeterias. The hotels are closed. Some of them have announced that they are going to reopen in July and August, because more and more tourists have been coming, because more than 30 countries have reopened their flights to Cyprus, and there is a big list of countries, mainly from Europe. Okay, but we still don't have the main countries on that list, which are Asia, Russia, and CIS, and also UK. Okay, these are three major countries for tourism in Cyprus. Okay, we're still waiting for it. The real estate market has been impacted a lot. I have to be honest with you, because we are very honest people. The number of sales in Cyprus has dropped by, I think, 60 or 70%, which is a dramatic decline. Most of this decline has occurred beyond the tourist areas. So there is the demand in the tourist areas of Limassol and Paphos is still
We've lost you again, guys.
the demand in the tourist area is historically higher. So Prime Property Group has not suffered a 70% decline. Our decline has been around 50%, but it's still a big decline. What we see is that there is a big demand, and demand is huge. There is a lot of requests coming from all over the world, and there are some reasons behind it. Because the fundamental reasons why people relocate to Cyprus and to the southern Europe are going to be the same, and are going to be even more exaggerated, are going to be even more important. Okay, that's why the demand is huge now, because like the amount of requests that we have been getting in June is enormous. This is the best June in terms of number of requests. In terms of actual sales, people are not able or have not been able to buy because they want to come to see the properties, right? And they are not able to do that. This is the deal breaker. There is a small percentage of people who are buying online, but people are not used to that in general. Okay, but if your clients want to benefit from this situation, they want to buy now. They should buy now, or they should reserve now, because now they're able to get the best prices. And Prime Property is one of those companies who wants to benefit from the crisis too, by giving special offers and increasing the market share by doing that. And we have been having a lot of sales, not as much as before, but we have been quite successful. Okay, and we're talking about big sales that we're closing. With the people who are stuck here, we also have some Russians and some Chinese and some Vietnamese who are staying in Cyprus, and they want to benefit from this situation by getting bigger discounts, and they are buying. We also have a small percentage of local people buying from us, and we also have a small percentage of people who are brave enough and who are, I would say, risky enough to buy off plan, or online, sorry, and also off plan. Yes, but what the message that we have been trying to promote is that, okay, if you are afraid to buy online without coming to Cyprus and seeing the actual property that you are buying, you can book it now for 2 months or until the flights the flights between Vietnam and Russia and Cyprus through Russia or through Dubai are working again, and then you will come and finalize your transactions. Now you can get the price, which is going to be a more attractive price. You can pay a reservation deposit, let's say 20,000 euros or 30,000 euros, and then when you come and finalize your transaction. This is the way to do it, and this is the safe strategy for you if you don't want to risk and buy online.
Thanks for your comprehensive answer.
All right, thank you, Joe. If I may add something a little bit on this topic about the construction itself. Construction has been closed for 1 month only during the quarantine times. So we have a general delay of 1 month, which is really not significant given the circumstances. And it has been reopened long ago. You know, if you go now, once again, coming back to my presentation and to the availability of live construction feeds for some of our major projects on our website, open any one of them and you can see that the construction is going on right now. So there, for us, you know, I can only talk about Prime. I know, you know, I don't want to badmouth competition. There are some companies which have suffered. Prime is not the only company which is in a good situation. There are other companies who are in a good situation, but then of course there is a number of companies who really did suffer and whose construction has stopped completely. But since we talk about, you know, Prime Property, about us, so with us you can be sure. Yes, of course. Once again, just to, you know, put emphasis on what George said. Yes, the number of sales has really gone down temporarily, but we can see on the number of requests that the interest has actually grown. So once borders are open, once people will be physically able to travel here to make sure that what they are buying is real, you know, to see the quality of life in Cyprus, to see the quality of prime property real estate, business will not only be back to usual, but we will see an increased growth because of this lag, you know, of this half a year lag in actual sales.
And also I wanted to add something, because, you know, the reasons why people would relocate from Asian countries, also from Russia, are going to be the same reasons. But on top of those reasons, yeah, there will be more reasons, because, you know, the poor health systems and also the increased amount of political and social instabilities are going to force more people to relocate. And that's why we have seen, because Cyprus is a place for wealthy people. Okay, because we have golf courses, we have marinas, and we have lots of infrastructure for the wealthy people. That's why I think the amount of demand has grown. This is the biggest reason. And once the borders reopen, I'm sure we're going to have an increase in the number of wealthy people who will want to relocate to Cyprus. And now we're not going to see people who invest and never appear in Cyprus, because we have seen a lot of people like that. Now Cyprus is readier, is better, in a better Cyprus is in a better shape to be able to accept people for permanent residency, because we have built, and Cyprus has built, a lot of infrastructure for permanent residency. In terms of private schools, in terms of facilities, outdoor sports facilities, like a casino is being built right now. So in the space of 2-3 years from now, Cyprus is going to be a country which is going to be more suitable for wealthy people to live, actually. Okay. And we've seen it a lot. When you come to Limassol, you will see a lot of expensive cars. You will see a lot of expensive and fine dining restaurants. And it's a different place now, and it's going to improve even more. And I think that's why the amount of demand has been growing unexpectedly, because no one expected it. So I think it's very positive. It's very positive. Let's wait until the airports open, and we will see a big amount of people, wealthy people, who are going to want to relocate to Europe or to Cyprus. And Cyprus is one of the fast-track gateways to the European Union. Okay, so by investing in a Cyprus passport, you are enabling yourself to live, study, and work in any of the 27. It used to be 28, now it's 27, in any of the 27 European states, which is the biggest luxury for anyone coming from Russia, Middle East, or Asia, statistically. Okay, so yeah, I think it's very positive, and I think that we all have a very bright future.
All right. Thank you, George. Nick, there are no more questions.
No, that's it. We've had the questions.
That's
now.
it. All right.
Yeah.
So I just want to, thank everybody for attending. And I know it's been a long time, and we can talk more and more and more. There is a lot of things to discuss, which we will not do right now. All right. Be sure of that. And I just want to say, if you want to contact us yourself, you can do so through Nick, through China Offshore, but also we will give the list of the participants to our employee in Vietnam, Ms. Thao Vu, and she will reach out to every one of you just to confirm your experience of the webinar and to talk, to build connections. In case you feel like you need to contact somebody, let's say higher up the food chain, no problem. Just tell it to Ms. Thao, and I am always available to talk. And in case it is really necessary, we will also be able to reach out to George to have some specific discussions. I hope we will have a fruitful cooperation with all of you. Thank you, and enjoy your evening. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Ms. Li Jing. Thank you, George, for coming.
Thank you very much to George and to Anton, and thanks most of all to all of you in Vietnam for attending. I hope that you drew some valuable information from the team at Prime, and as they said, they will be reaching out to you presently. So hopefully this is the beginning of some very special partnerships and friendships. So all that remains for me to say is thank you very much. Be safe and enjoy your evenings, and we will speak soon. Thanks very much.